Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome back to ZSR with a fantastic mini blend seed. We are going to be starting very, very quickly. Just need to wait for this to pass. So it's a quick match between skinnydee and zhor2000. We have Gold Quiver and Montgold doing commentary, and I will pass it straight to them.
Oh man, you guys are stuck with us now. How are you doing today, Gold?
Oh, not too bad. Excited to see some mini blends here.
Oh,
so,
man. Do we even see mini blends in the sea though? Because mini blends are kind of rare, you know. They're not everywhere on the sea, you know.
I think we'll see some. So yeah, mini blends tournament. We had a set of qualifiers for all of the Discord, and we took the lowest 24 runners that posted times. And so we're gonna give it a chance for kind of newer players to get up to speed and to have a little bit of fun while doing it.
What a great start! We're on great fish and we're getting hints. It's gonna be great. I think you wrote them down somewhere for us because we're not reading fast.
Question Fairy to Forsaken Fortress, Private Oasis to Tower of the Gods, go down.
Oh man!
And we're gonna have 10 hints total here.
Oh man, that's a good lot of hints. And from what I've read, from what I've read from the tournament documentation, because I had no idea before like 10 minutes ago what Miniblins was. Apparently, like those hints like are heavily weighted in for like distant checks, in a way. It's kind of fun.
So we have Forsaken Fortress, which is one of our 2 dungeons. It's hinted foolish, so our runners are going to just be running straight to the boss to kill them, nothing else. We also have a bow in the Phantom Ganon Maze chest, so hopefully our runners have remembered the correct route to take through that.
Oh man, we're going to see a lot of stuff. Ganon's Tower, having a little something special today.
Yeah, so hints are kind of one of the things that you eventually get quicker and quicker at them over time, but they can take a lot of time to figure out where should I go? Do I have to mark this off? Do I just write it down and figure it out later?
Oh, yeah, everyone has like their own little system to take hints, and I'll be the first one to say mine is terrible, but it still works. So,
whatever works for you.
Yeah, exactly. Whatever works for you, and both runners are finished taking hints in. Now we see one runner warp right to Mother and Child. Grab a fairy. Never a bad idea.
All right, mini blends. We have we're in the middle of our Farore group, which is the middle group. We're getting a bow on Mother and Child there, but we have within the group we have zhor, one of those. I think I'll say zhor.
I'm gonna say Zor. I'm just gonna call them Mr. 2000. You know.
That's third in the group, and skinnydee, which is 6th in the group. So overall, probably about 11th and 14th place in the seeding. So it should be pretty close. Should be pretty interesting.
Yeah, it's gonna be one of those races. Like honestly, it's always fun to see new runners, and that's one of those matchups tonight. Like, I have never heard of skinnydee17. I've never heard of Mr. 2000, and I am excited to see them run.
Right off the bat, yeah, we're gonna see a little bit of divergence here.
Yeah,
skinnydee going to.
Skinnydee is after my own heart. Going straight to Grandma's basement, not even looking at a chest before falling from the ledge. That's how you play. I love that.
Yes,
just believe the grandma's gonna be nice, you know?
We do have the chest type matches contents, so if we see a brown chest like that, we know that there's nothing inside it. But if we see a spiky chest, then we're going to want to open that.
If the chest is spiky, your serotonin should spike. That's how I see it.
Those are the feelings of happiness.
Oh, and talking about feelings of happiness, here's Tingle, giving us a Tingle statue that's exactly in the same pose as him. He paused with it, you know?
I want to say as well, we're getting Grandma...
Ooh, and a boomerang.
Getting Grandma saved at the 3.5 minute mark. That is very good to see. What a
that is some fast saving. Skinnydee is not going to the soup factory tonight, you know?
One of our settings here are the Great Fairies. There is a fairy on outset, which some people will want to sometimes wait to get the leaf so they can full clear outset all at once. That is something that we've seen, but again, it is a long check. If it's empty, then you save a lot of time by not having to get it.
It really is a long check because no matter what equipment you have to get to that loading zone of the forest at the top. Like, it's still gonna take you a while to get there. Oh, and it's time for the free gift from Maggie here. It's a grappling hook.
All right, that makes sense because we have our skull hammer on the top of paw print, and we're going to need that for Forsaken Fortress.
Oh my god, we're going to need that for what some people call the big key of Forsaken Fortress, because that's the one thing keeping you from entering the boss. And that's only if you don't want to get inside and not have anything to fight it with, because there's ways in.
And we'll see Zhor going, or Zor. I'll say Zor. I'll have to ask him about that later and hope that he doesn't take it against me too much for mispronouncing that.
The chest is spiky, and it's a shard. That's our first one tonight.
We'll have 6 total to collect in the overworld, and 2 from bosses in our 2 temples, 2 dungeons.
2 dungeons. That is one thing that feels weird about Miniblins settings, but that is an amazing change to see at the same time. Oh, Crescent Moon Island for Zor.
And we have something there as well.
Yeah, just gonna slide right through the elite guard in front of the chest, aka the two chews.
We get a delivery bag of Crescent, which in these settings, I believe that will give us a cabana deed to enter the cabana if we want to go that route, and it'll give us Note to Mom and I believe some other. No, there's no other letters, just Note to Mom.
Also found another Tingle statue, this time on skinnydee side. Beetle is setting one of them.
Alright, and now we get a nice calm bit of sailing, as runners are
oh yeah,
traveling to the next destinations.
I'm gonna point out something that I haven't seen in a while, but Zor is not really self-pumping. I love that. Gotta not get that carpal tunnel,
It certainly would help with that, yeah. Ooh, we have skinnydee going over to Cyclos, checking that guy out, see what he's got.
First chest that they opened was a bow. It might be a sign in their head, Found the bow, 60 arrows. You get to spam those arrows if you want. It's great.
It is very, very tempting when you get an item and then immediately you're thinking of where that can go, what you can do with that.
Yeah, talking about following up on the lead, Zor found that grappling hook, and now they're looking to see if they're going to capitalize on that.
Yeah, I think it was actually in the earlier stream it was mentioned as well. In this cave, you can actually grappling hook that second post right from the ground. You kind of skip having to climb up that first one.
Yes, it's one of those little things that a lot of players don't know, but once you get in the community, like you learn all kinds of little tricks like that. Oh my god, and they got an item at the same time. It wasn't the same thing, but
Cyclos with nothing, but that skull hammer that was hinted. Yeah, you're right. Like, even a lot of the new runners were actually. I think I've actually seen a few new strategies and tricks come out of them. So it's a fresh set of eyes. We get to learn the whole bunch all over again.
I love how Zor tried something that should work in most Zelda games, but not in this one. We can't smash rocks with the hammer here, sadly.
Unfortunately.
I'd love if it was a thing,
Maybe Nintendo will patch the game. We'll get it.
Finally, the year 25 patch.
Alright, what does Grandma have for us? Ooh, Grandma wants us to get up to mischief.
It is time for some old explosions.
Grandma says, take these and don't ask any questions.
And according to what I read earlier, it's take these and a lot of these because we get 60 straight away.
Absolutely. We start with a bigger bomb bag and a bigger quiver, so we hold 60 bombs, 60 arrows for each of those.
That's a lot of mischief in that bag, Was that right? Time for Salvage Corp?
Hard required Grandma wants chaos, absolutely.
Oh man, and Tingle posing once again.
Alright, so we're gonna be heading off to Mother and Child Islands now, pick up the item for the first bow there, and probably a fairy as well. We do start with a bottle in these settings.
Oh, that is very nice. Let's use say Grandma real quick. Also, I get this distinct feeling. Oh, not taking a ferry apparently. Huh.
I mean, that's perfectly.
It is
reasonable,
perfectly acceptable. There's many places to get a ferry. There's even places where you can find fairies just chilling in the grass.
But there's also just so many little subtleties to this game as well in terms of item drops. I know I was screaming for magic in one seat I was playing in one of the temples, and it's in the grass right there. I didn't know that, so I was just
Yep. There's many places where there's like one drop of something that you really need, but you need to know where those drops are. It's kind of like when you're looking for bombs or arrows where you're in Forbidden Woods.
Ooh.
It's only in the basement near the Tingle statue chest. It's really you need to know it's there, basically.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't, you're going to be looking forever.
skinnydee did a nice little ledge jump off to find Maggie here rather than rolling all the way around.
Oh man, that's nice.
And meanwhile, we see Zhor going for our path, Western Fairy Island to Forsaken Fortress.
Oh man, that's a good idea. Found the hammer not too long ago, following on that lead, basically.
So we know that should either be the leaf or the hookshot. Zhor thinks that could also possibly be bombs, but either way, it's going to be a good item to get. So,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And talking about taking a ferry, that is another place that Zhor could take one.
At the ferry fountain, absolutely. There's plenty of opportunities to grab them.
Plenty of opportunities. Like it's totally doable to skip a place where you don't like getting them. I mean, it's very easy to get a bottle of water on Mother and Child. Very easy.
I don't know where you find water elsewhere in this game. It's a bit of a rarity.
At least fresh water. I do believe that you can't really drink water in the game, which is kind of a shame.
There's that ferry, and it looks like we got our hookshot there from Western Ferry as well, which is our path to Forsaken Fortress.
Man, that is nice. We have a nice little kit for Forsaken Fortress now. Just missing the bombs on Zhor's side.
Yeah, so these settings are interesting. There's not a terrible amount of checks in the overworld, which means your dungeons are usually pretty loaded full of items. So getting a Forsaken Fortress being completely barren is a really interesting hint.
That's really unusual, because if we don't find the last pearl that we need to get a Taji, it means it means that somewhere in the overworld there's going to be a lot of objects, you know.
All right, skinnydee and Pawprint here now with those bombs is going to be able to get every chest in here.
Oh yeah, that's very nice for them.
Whereas I believe Zhor was not able to get the two behind boulders, and will have to come back, or might have to come back. Nothing behind that one.
We'll see.
Maybe not.
A second round of mischief. Skinnyd's not gonna slash the bomb. And there's nothing behind the boulders today, so maybe Zhor won't have to come back.
Quite possibly. Zhor doing a little dodge of that Octo outside of Diamond Step.
And we were talking about how you can get that second peg right away. skinnydee seems to be aware of that, so that's a good example of how you can do it.
There's a lot of things that are just minor improvements, but they add up over the course of a run.
Oh yeah,
and just knowing about all of those is a big is something that takes time, but it's also a nice advantage to work with.
Oh yeah. Pearl Hammer has been found for skinnydee. That is a almost complete kit for Forsaken Fortress, only missing that little hookshot.
Hookshot or leaf. One of those two is logically required in order to cross some of the gaps.
Oh, and Zhor using the stick to defend themselves. Opening that little pot here.
Going through Diamond Step Island. It looks like the intended path.
The intended path. I haven't seen that in a while.
Oh, it's still not too bad because we're at a chest already with the power bracelets.
Yeah. And here we go. That was a nice power bracelets, as you said. I'll be honest. I'm really curious about what Zhor's gonna do next because I haven't done this place the regular way. It's so much time that I don't actually know the way.
Well, I think with the Diamond Step, there are a lot of different ways that you could go, and a lot of them will take you there.
One of our trackers is agreeing with me. Never seen the vanilla path. I've seen it as a kid. I just don't remember it personally. Are we gonna see like half strats? Are we using the ledge? Maybe.
Right, skinnydee warping over to Dragon Roost Island. There's one small check here. Only one in these settings. There's a lot of other chests on the island, but we don't need them, so we know they're going to be brown chests we won't have to get.
Yeah, the only check that counts is the one where you don't actually see the frog, but there's a frog in the regular game that talks to you.
He's there, we promise.
I'm well known for talking to frogs.
I think it's that one there, Zhor, yes. Well, I don't know if it's this pot here. I think it's the other one. But we'll
it's not that one. It's not that one. I'll tell you that much.
We'll get there. We'll get there eventually.
Yep. And I can't even judge because I couldn't tell you which one it is.
If you don't use it in long enough and you just learn certain strats, like you can kind of forget which one it's supposed to be as well. It can happen very, very easily.
This is not even a joke. Like one time, a friend of mine was playing like their first seed of rando, and they were stuck in that place, and I had to teach them the speedrun strat because I had no idea of the regular path.
A little bit of difficulty here, but we're running out of options, so Zhor will be able to finish Diamond Step very, very soon here.
Yep.
Meanwhile, skinnydee looks like Eastern Fairy. Is that? I believe that is.
Time to take some letters. The bomb letter. With the nice golden feather. Exactly what we needed. Oh, I know this one. It's the left one. Yes!
Oh, get that floor master out of here.
Oh, yes. They took the left.
Yes.
And we're to the chest now.
That last floor master is so scary because sometimes he just follows you so far.
Oh, cabinet deed. Not a bad thing to find.
Yeah, we can actually get in the cabana now. Zhor has delivery bag and cabana deed.
Yeah, and not to mom because we didn't have enough mail checks at the same time.
I think Note to Mom and Cabana are our only things that we use delivery bag for in these settings. All of the other letters are side quests.
I see.
Skinnydee's going to mail Note to Mom, and he might consider passing time. It has to pass midnight for that mailbox to start wiggling. So if it's after midnight and you pass time today, it's not going to be there.
Yeah, it's a kind of a weird one. So sometimes you just change the time of day and you're like, wait, it was already night. What happened? That's when you just miss the little cycle there. It happens. Happens the best.
I think there's nothing that hasn't happened to somebody.
I think my favorite one is when the day is barely starting and you get to FF and the game has to make it night straight away. So it's like, oh shit, I have like 22 hours to go through in 3 seconds.
We have skinnydee going to be following that path into Western Fairy Island here. Going to pick up the hookshot, and we've got Zhor going to... Where's he going?
Oh, that's Cabana. I'm pretty sure that's Cabana.
It is a path hint, so it's very understandable why we're going there. Something to Tower of the Gods. which at this point I think it's going to be the pearl. From Zor's point, it might be the bomb still because he does not know where those are. But I think we know it has to be the pearl. Or possibly the leaf.
It could be leaf, yeah. We'll find out soon enough. Right. Skinnydee making their way into another seashell. I gotta say, this is very reminiscent of Season 3 for me. Back then, we had the fairies on for the tournament. It was we saw the cutscene a lot. I'll just say this.
Yeah, there we go. In the chat there, Drunes. That's how some of the path hints can get really kind of subtle in ways. Yeah, if the hookshot is path to Helmarock, and you already have the other path items, that means that the leaf can't be on the same path, I believe, or something like that. I know Alex in chat there is, I think, a very good expert on that. It still kind of confuses me sometimes.
Ints are they're quite the beasts. After playing a world tournament with them, I still don't fully understand them. Mostly because I haven't sat down and actually read the rules of them. But sometimes the real hint is in your heart, you know? just follow wherever you think it's gonna be.
Sometimes the real hint is the grandmas we saved along the way.
Yes. Always.
Ooh, Zhor trying the hit that switch from across the wall.
Yep. Gotta have the right angle and gotta jump at the right spot, but there we go.
That trick is not it's not very punishing, but if you don't get the right angle, it can eat up a little bit of time for sure.
Oh yeah, it's one of those tricks because, especially with the rats hanging around, yes. you can mess up your angles so much.
If you target with those rats around, you're a gambling person.
Or you're using the rats. I have used the rats before. Like, if you calculate where the rat is and you position yourself, it gets your angle for you.
All right, we get Mirror Shield in Cabana. That can't be our path hint because Angular is hinted dead and we don't have Earth Temple, which are the only checks that Mirror Shield would open up. So this other chest has to be something.
All right, let's see. Don't think that was the right way.
I've been a wrong turn there. There are ways to sidle behind the ladders in the Cabana and pull out your hookshot, especially for this bottom chest.
Yeah, that's what Kino Keith is referring to in the chat. Yes, there is hookshot strats inside of here. They look kind of crazy, but they're quite easy to get, surprisingly.
But that's part of the thing with the Miniblins is since we have a lot of new runners, it's tough to know every single strat in the game here. But that's something that will hopefully build up over time.
There's a lot to learn when you first get into Wind Waker Randomizer, but that's the fun part of Wind Waker Randomizer, if you ask me, because, like, even if you don't know any tricks, you can finish these seeds, and it's still going to be quite fast.
The other fun part is, I could ask you, Montgol, which way do you turn right now in Cabana here?
Oh, that's a good question.
I wouldn't be able to give you an answer either.
I'll be quite honest. When I have to go around in Cabana without using the hookshot, I kind of just follow my heart. It became the child that played the game. Yeah, we're getting closer. We're getting closer.
Maze-like. Skinnydee going. I think that was going pretty much right through the Diamond Step Island there.
Yep. Cabin indeed has been found.
It's going to be interesting to see which. If somebody goes into.
Oh, let's go, ship chart. So the quest keeps on giving.
Yeah, Ghost Ship Chart now has to have something that is Path to Tower of the Gods, which is quite possibly our leaf, which, if Ghost Ship Chart has the leaf, that's a little bit rude, because usually you'll want the leaf for Ghost Ship to skip the entire bottom combat.
But we did just find the Mirror Shield, which would make finding our way through Ghost Ship a lot easier.
Yeah, it'll give us access to those beams of light for the pose, certainly.
Yep. And the ghost ship is still a crescent moon for Zor. Are we going straight there? Are we going elsewhere? What is the choice?
Skinny D with Southern Fairy on here, really hammering out those fairy checks. And so far,
Nicely
they're
done
working
by
out for him.
Skinny. Even rolling during the explosion there.
Get that bit of extra time save, absolutely.
That's a cute time save. Gotta love it. The fairies. I still get the nightmares.
Yes, Crystal, imagine commentating a race. No one would have done that about 4 hours ago. Absolutely not.
I never do that, man. I never commentate.
Ooh, this fairy is not very nice for us, though. Just a little bit of love, which we can appreciate.
This fairy is not very nice, says the guy that then says they gave us love. Yeah, we're gonna have some fun tonight. And we're at the ghost ship. The ship that is made out of ghosts at the outside, but of wood on the inside. And don't question it, please, because I don't have answers for you.
Zora's really chasing those path hints, which is absolutely a decent strategy. You can't be mad going for items that you know you'll need.
Oh, nicely done on the positioning. Like, rolls straight into that light on Zora's side. Just gotta deal with the enemies now.
Ooh, does get an enemy spawn from the Wizrobe, but it is the I'd say probably slightly better Redead rather than the Stalfos.
Yeah, the Stalfos is a little harder to take care of, but the Redead is also an enemy that you can't really like ignore because it's gonna scream and keep you from moving, which is always annoying.
Ooh,
There we go. We got both. We got both, but we're fine.
We get to see the whole crew this time, but we got to get that Wizrobe out of here.
We're fine. Oh, quick spin that thing.
Likewise, Skinny D seeing with that Cabana Deed, knowing that Oasis is a path hint, let's go for it.
Taking time to kill the Wizrobe while the Stalfos is still like disassembled like that. Always a good plan because as long as the enemy that the Wizrobe has spawned is not dead, they can't make more. You're fine.
All right, finishing that up, we get to see what Ghost Ship has for us.
Ooh, here's the pearl. And here's the leaf. Oh,
that is our path to Tower of Gods.
We now know a lot of things about this seed.
So that was a nice little chain. That was Cabana to Ghost Ship chart to Leaf.
We saw a lot of things right away.
All right, Skinny D looking to be following in those footsteps right behind. Can you keep one Master Sword? Zor can finish both dungeons. For all the checks, yes, but we were hinted that Forsaken Fortress is dead, so we don't have to fight Phantom Ganon there.
Oh yeah, that is one of the things today. And our other boss is the one boss that you don't even use the sword on, so...
Yes,
Zor
Zor also
trouble with that rat here.
Also hasn't quite found bombs yet, which I think was Grandma Mail. Yes, Grandma wanted us to cause chaos, that's right.
Yes, Grandma is an agent of chaos tonight. See, oh. Skinny D trying to find the right angle here. Maybe a little too much, but nope, it's fine. It works. It works.
Just keep hammering, eventually it'll hit.
Yep. When you think about it, this trick is one of the... Oh, there we go. First try on this one. It's one of the tricks that makes the most sense, even if it's kind of a glitch in a way. Because if you use a real hammer on a real wall, it will eventually break. No?
Zor is going to get those 2 orphaned checks behind boulders at Paw Print, and unfortunately going to be a little bit sad when he sees that they're both brown.
Yeah, too much wood. Always sad when you see wooden chests. See, that's one thing that never goes away. Zor just demonstrated the one thing that all runners have in common. We always look for the entrance of that cave. Always.
Sometimes you just get turned around, can't find it, crawl into the side of a wall for a couple minutes.
Yep. And we're not even using the mischief for Zor on this side. We're just lifting the boulders We're ripped! Wow! Wrong side for the chest here, but there we go. We see the wooden chest. We get a little sand inside. And we move on with our lives.
But it's absolutely a fine idea for people to clear as much of the overworld as you can, because if you get the chance to have all of your items before you enter a dungeon, or only missing one item, then you can skip so much of those dungeons, which is a huge time save.
And yes, we did check Scale the Wall. It was our Skull Hammer.
That one was hinted for us, and I think we got Grappling Hook really early, like Maggie on Windfall, I believe.
Exactly. So we forgot to mention that we have two wonderful trackers tonight. We have Symph, and we have Tomomodachi, which I almost added a third bow in that name.
Tomomodachi.
Don't hurt me. Tomomodachi.
Right. Other hints that we have. We know that we have a bow in the Phantom Ganon Maze chest after we have the Master Sword and all 8 shards. So that could wind up being our logical fire and ice arrows. Possibly not, but it's a possibility.
It could happen. That is the kind of spice I'm looking for.
And yes, we get Grandma. Another Grandma saved.
The soup is flowing. I love how these commands are still there. I feel responsible for something.
I'm not sure if we have the angle command, but we'll have to see. We didn't get any tingle. Oh no, we are getting tingle statues. I'm blind.
We have 2 of them.
Those are shiny. How do you miss them?
Yeah, they can never die. Oh, we do have the ankle command, so someone will have to post that, and I'll do my best to not mess it up when I read it.
Skinnydee going through Bomb Island now, which even veteran runners, many of them don't really care very much for this.
It's one of those places. Sometimes it goes really well, and sometimes you're there for 20 mintes.
Well, we're not going to have to worry about being there today. The chest is dead. It is not spiky.
That's the best thing about chess type matches content, you know?
Alright, I believe this is Zhor's... Is this his first trip to Outset? Yes, it is. So
it is.
With the leaf, he's going to... Skinnydee might have to come back to Outset to check the ferry, but Zhor can just do it all on the first trip here.
We're changing the time of day to get inside Maz's castle. That's a way to do it too. Would you look at that spiky chest? It has a little shard for us.
A little piece of cheese.
Some sharp cheddar. Hey! Is it time for this island? Oh my god. Island of Steel.
I think we're going to get our first appearance of Miniblins as well on Zhor's side.
Oh yes, Miniblins are here. Put some Miniblins in that Miniblins tournament. At least hear them. Here's a Miniblin! 2 Miniblins! Oh! Look at them. Miniblining all over the way.
This island of Steel is so metal. Absolutely it is.
It is. Dangerous place. Can't even get in without having to use violence. Except you can, if you swim really fast. Or fly above them. Hey, it's a Master Sword! Ooh, ain't that nice?
Get a little bit extra range, a little bit extra damage. Absolutely, we'll take that.
It's a good place to get some rupees if you don't have them either. And we're not even gonna bother getting back in the boat because the game is gonna do it for us. And here we go. Time for another ferry on Zhor's side. One of the most
ferry. Yeah, let's see if Skinnydee is going to be able to skip this one, or if it's going to be something important and he'll wind up last locationing it, which is, I think, everyone runners. I wouldn't say horror, but.
And it seems like we're going in .G right now on Skinnydee's side.
Clearing it out, absolutely.
Not a bad choice as a
Yeah.
first dungeon, because it's one of those dungeons. Yes, it is a little faster when you get to go mode it, but it is still kind of long.
Ooh, that is another sword on the outset, Great Fairy. That is required.
Ooh.
Actually, Crystal bringing it up as well. We're in Tower of the
Ooh-wee.
Gods without our leaf.
It's doable.
It's
It's
doable,
really
absolutely,
annoying, but it's doable.
but it's scary.
It is scary.
We do know that Tower of the Gods is our last path hint, Tower of the Gods to Hyrule, so more likely we're going to find at least one shard in here.
It's very slow, yes.
I'm sure it has to be Ash Shard or something that leads to Ash Shard.
Yeah. Oh, would you look at that? That's a room with 2 keys.
The chest type matches contents. The blue chests will have either a small key or a big key. We have to open them to find out which.
Yep.
The big key? The big key.
Oh my god. If you don't need both keys, that's one hell of a room right there.
So we're going over to check out Cyclos, and I believe Cyclos did not have very much for us.
And that's something. Crystal saying that in chat. They could also just be clearing floor 1. Floor 1 can kind of be seen as its own part of the overworld, in a way.
Yeah, you can clear floor 1, and then if you save quit, you start right at the entrance. It's a very short sail. It's completely reasonable to check it out.
Oh, it looks like we're gonna go in that room that we don't go in often, because we're resorting to violence. There we go. That.
We're also making a really quick Cyclos kill. That looked pretty clean. But
Yeah, that was very clean.
yes, looks like we're not going to worry about a floor 1 skip here on Skinny D's side. We're going to make sure that we can get back in, that we can go through it. That does mean that we are going to have to find both of our small keys now. But if we're checking every chest anyway, then we'll naturally run across them.
This room. It confuses everyone. All of the speedrunners are just like, what? There was a room there?
So vanilla way of doing floor 1 Tower of the Gods is to put one of these statues down on either side, which will stop the water from flowing, and raise the water up so that
Only
we
on
can
that
go
side.
further into the dungeon that way.
Yeah. You don't have a waterfall anymore. It's great. Oh no.
Oh no, the water cycles.
Water cycles are killer in this dungeon.
I know. I usually like to save and quit after getting the chests, which way it resets the water cycle. But that's kind of assuming with the floor 1 skip, which
Yep.
if you're not planning on doing.
Yeah, you can always save warp, get back at the start of the dungeon, especially if you're going for this chest. You could always get away with that.
Zhor actually being the first one to, I believe, the first one to head to Cliff Plateau Isles here as well.
Ooh, that is true. I always forget about this place when we don't do it straight at the beginning.
This route used to be the first thing you would do in season 5 because not much.
It's been that way since like middle of at least season 2, somewhere in season 1, people started figuring out too. It's been a staple because the game says you need a leaf. We say you don't.
All right, Skinny D picking up a shard while Zhor gets the bombs. So that shard, that very easily could be our path hint. A little bit boring, but there it is.
Look at that. And we saw that the chest was made out of wood. Zhor's side. It looks like we're leaving.
Ooh, did Zhor peek the top chest here as well?
I think so.
I think he must. I think he must have. Maybe not.
And yes, some people are mentioning the fact that on Zhor's side, Link is a girl. We have custom models in this randomizer, basically, so a lot of people choose to play as Link. It's one of the most popular ones, actually. Oh, that was funky with the ladder there. Let's get Dee's side.
Yeah, kind of juked out that Sparky Choo Choo.
Yeah.
Was able to grab the ladder and go out and halfway up.
Yeah,
Ooh.
and we are seeing the other statue here.
Oh,
So
we're
we're
also
gonna see
seeing
the grate open.
we're also seeing Zor going to be going for a grappling hook skip to Bird Speak Rock here. This is
That
a
is
bit of a
daring.
finicky trick, but that's a daring trick.
That's daring. I say that's daring because apparently it's a simple trick, but that's the trick that made me learn storage when I started playing because couldn't get it.
And a very clean first
Wow.
try. Wow.
Well done.
Very nicely done.
Anyone that gets that on the first try has my respect.
I can't get that on first try. It's tricky. It's
Yeah.
very specific position. We're not very specific, but kind of specific, you know.
So timing and the timing is hard to have when you have no sense of the beat. You know, it's just. Ooh, another Tingle statue, and it's the forbidden one.
Is that your favorite Tingle statue?
Well, it is sticky, so maybe.
Can't let it go. Can't put it down.
Yeah.
All right, get hop across floating boxes here in Tower of the Gods now.
Oh, we're hopping for real.
Ooh, it's gonna be something.
Look at that. Oh my god. Fire and ice arrows.
Oh, that's gotta be a sigh of relief.
Yep.
No,
That just killed your spice, but you know. Still nice to see. Oh.
A lot of people like to skip that. A lot of people like to skip that chest until the very end because it might be a key and it can take a bit of time to come around to. But I'm sure skinnydee is very happy of going to collect it right now.
Would you look at that? It's time to go to the second floor. Meanwhile, it's time for Zor to go investigate Bomb Island.
Let's see if there's anything in here that we want to get, and I'm unfortunately going to find another brown chest, but maybe fortunately, because you don't have to do Bomb Island.
One of those places.
Yes, in chat there, Kayla, we've got 2 small keys and 1 big key in Tower of the Gods. We've collected 1 small key, 1 big key on skinnydee side, and used the small key. So we do need to get the other small key.
Missed the elevator by so little.
By a hair.
That's sad. I hate when that happens.
But chances are we're going to be opening every chest in Tower of the Gods anyway because we're right here.
Oh yeah, might
so
as
run
well.
across it. Oh, the rats on these elevators can be kind of scary too. I know they have knocked me down into the pit at least once.
Yep, and the first time that the rats knock you from the elevator there, you remember why most elevators have walls in our world. You're like, that's why.
Mm-hmm. And yes, Kalo, it's guaranteed that there's at least 1 small key on the first floor of Tower of the Gods. So if you clear every chest on floor 1 except for hop across, and you don't have a key, then you know that that's a small key. And you can then skip it as long as you skip the opening the other locked door on the first floor.
It's one of those things.
But if you don't do that skip, then you do need both keys. I think about half of the small keys in this game are optional.
Yeah, there's one that's just impossible to skip though. The RC, first room. It's always there.
First chest.
Unless you're playing Key Lunacy, it's always there.
We have a second shard in Tower of the Gods in our first Armos room. So that could also be our path to Hyrule. That shard or the first shard. Ooh, skinnydee's just saved somehow. How did he not slip off the edge there?
That was so close to the edge. Skinnydee living on the edge, basically.
We're finally landing by home. Definitely get world record.
Nice.
Corp God, thank you for the 100 bits. Thank you very much.
That's a fun thing about playing Randomizer. Like, if you win the race and nobody has played this seed before, you just set a world record.
World record for this seed.
Yeah.
Oh, skinnydee having the statue follow him underneath. Sometimes you'll see runners climb on top of the platform, and you can call the statue. You can actually lift the statue up through the floor.
Yep, it's called Jack's Clip, and it's adorable.
But on this side, we get to PP up,
Yep.
and that's always cute.
Would you look at that? We're getting some cell jumping from Zor, and we're getting a statue cutscene from Skinny D. There's gonna be a whole lot more of those in this scene.
Inventing annoying categories. I will be the first person to beat Wind Waker while chugging, let's say, 20 Red Bulls. Done.
Oh boy, you're only gonna run that one once.
You're running really fast, though. Speedrun kidney stones.
Yeah, you're definitely gonna speedrun many of those if you do that. Oh boy, many kidney stones.
Yeah, I think Ken O'Keefe doing Armless Chest after getting the statue. I think that does save a little bit of time, a few seconds. If you pick up the statue, take it with you to the first statue room, and then keep on going. And that's another thing. Like, if it's just one thing that saves a couple of seconds, all of the ones that you do over time adds up over a run. It's it's interesting to try. Interesting to see these strats.
Yeah. And in this room, shoot the high on the wall. Just pretend that the bubble here is not hurting you.
These bubbles, they can be really nice, or they can...
Oh my god, Skinny D and the ledges today! Woo! That was too close for comfort. This person is like the friend of the ledges, you know?
The Ledge Master.
The legend.
Zor mailing note to Mom. I'm not going to check it right away, but I don't think it was anything too crazy.
Oh my god. This bridge. Yes, it was a pun. It was definitely a pun.
See,
it's what I do.
Second statue PP hop across this bridge here.
Oh, look at that. It's hopping. It's hopping. Yeah, instead of up across boxes, you get up across bridges.
Meanwhile, Zora going to be blowing up this Allied of Steel gunboat, getting in there. I believe that was a sword in there, getting the third sword out of 4 that we need.
And I don't think there's going to be much left in the overworld after that, so we're probably going to see them head for a dungeon after that. Oh, and the boat has been taken down by another boat.
This orb, that boat drops, that is the worst orb. It will stop your boat from sailing in there.
It's an immovable object, basically.
Nothing can stop that orb.
Fun fact about that orb. First time I played the Wind Waker as a wee child that couldn't even understand English, one of the keys dropped that in Dragon Rose Cavern, and I really thought I found the pearl. It was kind of funny. With ease. Because I played this in the GameCube first.
Yeah, same here. I think I bought this the day that it released. Went home and started playing it. It was a little while before I started speedrunning, but Skinny D gets, what do we get here? Third shard in Tower of the Gods.
More cheese. More cheese.
Tower of the Gods is shiny. 4 cheese pizza. That's right.
I think I also had this game like as soon as it came out, but I couldn't really understand what was going on until I was a little older, when I started to understand English. To this day, I have no idea how our child me finished like Majora's Mask, because it's mostly reading this one.
There was a lot of reading in Majora's Mask. Anyway, we have Zor going into Forsaken Fortress. We're going to see what route that they take to get up to Helmer Rock.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. Oh, here's a nice spiky chest.
Is interesting because Forsaken Fortress is hinted dead.
Yeah, I just want to see what is this. Oh, it's a babe bag. Ooh.
So that means that Bird's Peak Rock would also be dead, because that's the only chest that babe bag logically unlocks. A little bit of interesting logic. Still a mandatory item, but not mandatory because it won't be required. This seed has some really interesting hints. I like them. Bait bag is literal bait, absolutely.
Oh, time for one of the hardest tricks in the game. Throwing that bomb at the right time.
Not getting hit by the bats.
That's also hard, yes.
By the keys.
Oh, keys.
Can we see our 4th shard in Tower of the Gods?
That would be impressive.
Not yet.
No. Not yet. Not yet. There's at least going to be a 4th one at the end, you know? So you're not wrong. No matter what happens.
Zor just rolling by those moblins, which capture us at the beginning of the game on our first vanilla visit to Forsaken Fortress. They don't care now. We can just go right past.
Yeah, as soon as they lose the lanterns, they can't capture you anymore. They need the light. Hey, that's another key.
Apoplectic astronaut. That's right. Big Pig is not in Miniblin settings. Bait Bag only is for Bird's Peak Rock, and that's to control the seagull to hit the 5 statues up top. That's 1 check.
Getting on the platform before activating it, always a good way to make sure you don't miss your elevator.
We get a brown chest there on the bottom in this floating platforms room. And
taking the time to kill the bubble there, never a bad plan.
Is that another brown chest on the other side, or is that a key?
It's a key.
Oh, okay. So we will need that second key.
We absolutely need that one to open the next door.
Meanwhile, we get to see Zor fighting Helmarok, first boss of the seed, the only thing that's required in Forsaken Fortress. Let's see how they take care of this one here.
Yeah. See, I'm really curious to see if we're gonna kind of mess with the game, or are we gonna take our chances with the RNG at the top of the tower?
There is a way that you can get storage at the top of the tower here and skip a large portion of the Helmarok fight. That probably saves a good few minutes at least, so that's a very good trick to be able to learn.
It really depends on what happens once you're at the top, though. Sometimes the bird is nice, sometimes it's not.
Doing a brave jump slash there to try to hit it. Sometimes that will just jump slash you right off the ledge.
Ooh, we're getting the Wind Waker out. Looks like we're using the trick. Oh, first try.
So we're going for it. First try storage.
Wow. And we're jumping in the middle.
No
real setup there, but it still could work.
It's a little bit sketchier without much of a setup, just jumping down, but it's certainly still possible.
Yep, we're leaving it all up to Lady RNG.
Meanwhile,
but it still could work.
Meanwhile, Zor heading out, or Skinny D heading out of Tower of the Gods, looking for Needle Rock with that Fire and Ice arrows, and also looking at Ghost Ship Shard, where we know that's where the leaf is.
Zor just rolling on the stairs. All right, let's see if the birds decide to come.
Is the bird gonna?
Oh no!
Oh no!
That's always a bad sign.
It's moving.
It's moving. It's not moving anymore.
Oh no.
It's not moving anymore, sadly. That means we're stuck.
Yep. So that means we can save and warp out of here, and that will just put us right back at the start of the boss fight.
Yeah, time to save and quit, sadly. We can't really hit the bird through the stone here.
We can't leave. We pretty much have to save and quit until we beat it. But you know, even if the bird gets stuck once or twice, it's still going to be faster than fighting them vanilla.
There was no escape. Just gonna climb back up. Dang. Meanwhile, the skinnydee shooting some arrows. Nice accuracy right there. That last torch is the hardest one to get.
Yep. We were hinted that this Needle Rock Island chest is a shard, so we'll get our next shard here. That means on Skinnydee's side, at least, we only need to know where one more shard is, because we have 2 shards in the dungeons, and where 2 more swords are.
There's not a whole lot left in Overworld either, so we're gonna find that out very soon.
Yes, that's a good point, Crystal. Island puzzles is a category that's off, but a large portion of them are made much quicker or better by having storage strategies, and storage can be pretty janky. So that's a good reason for them to not be often in mini blins, or to be often mini blins.
Did I miss something, or did Zor get first time storage again? That's impressive. Wow.
I blinked. I must have missed it.
Wow.
That's very
Solid
impressive.
storage. Let's see if the birds get that copyright this time.
All right, Skinny D looking for that ghost ship. Possibly still aware that it should be the path hint, knowing that Mirror Shield can't lead to it.
Here we are. The bird is here.
Well, the bird is in a good position.
Yep. Let's start smashing.
That's what we want to see.
Goodbye, little mask.
4 hits to take the mask off, and 5 hammer hits, or 5 quick spins to take care of it from here.
If you're scared like me, it's 4 more strikes of the hammer. I'm a scared boy.
Well, if you want to, you can always soup up, and
That too,
I think it's only 2 or 3 spins at that point.
I'm always scared to spin in that position.
Skinny D taking out that Wizrobe before it can spawn any enemies, so that's going to be a nice little advantage there. Yep. Whereas Zor had both the Redead and the Stalfos to worry about.
And really well done here, even finding ghosts without being possessed by them. And here's the shard for Zor.
Zor with the first dungeon down.
Yeah. A few minutes ago, we were talking about how they kind of needed to go to a dungeon sooner than later. Now they have finished one before the other runner.
I think Skinny D might be tempted to go back and finish Tower of the Gods here now.
Oh my god, they're warping at the same time!
And I just realized Zor still doesn't have Farore's Pearl. Where was that again?
Farore's Pearl. What's that?
Note to Mom?
Note to Mom, yes. Note to Mom, yes.
Thank you very much, Clink. So it's in the mail for Zor right now. As soon as they open the mailbox, which we see right now, they'll get it.
Look at wonderful trackers remembering where items are so we don't need to.
So this is the interesting bit. Zor doesn't see the mailbox wiggling because it's not midnight yet. So by passing it into daytime, it'll pass midnight and Note to Mom will be available.
Yep. Crazy things. Look at that. Tingo's trying to send us a letter that costs 201 rupees. Thankfully, we don't have 201 rupees.
Tingo's the kind of fairy that sends you an email saying, click here for donating money, and it just automatically withdraws from your bank account.
Skinny left.
Go ahead.
I have no idea, actually.
Skinny left Tower of the Gods because Deku Leaf is required for the 3rd statue. You're supposed to jump up on the pillar and then leaf over top of the lasers.
I forgot using bombs is not an intended way of doing things.
There's a way to blow yourself up with bombs, put a bomb behind you, and then jump slash. It'll boost you over the lasers, but that's another very finicky trick that, if you haven't practiced it especially, it is going to be very difficult to get quite right, especially in a race like this.
See, that's the kind of things where basically, yes, you can just jump from the statues and then use the common melody to reopen the way. Actually, since mentioning it, you don't actually need the leaf. But bomb boosts are spicy and fun. You gotta love them too.
Skinny D accidentally fell down here instead of grabbing the statue, so they're going to hit a enemy trigger zone, which is going to spawn a Wizrobe back in the next room.
The next room, yes.
They're gonna have to deal with that.
Yeah, just gonna have to deal with a spicy token Sam.
Kino Keef, Leaf is logically required for Tower of the Gods.
Yes, logically. But that is a wild thing about this game. After a while, you start forgetting what is logic.
But it absolutely can be done without Leaf. It requires some tinkering, but you can do it without the Leaf.
Yeah, you can either do the bomb boost as we were saying, or you can even jump from one statue to the other, and then use your command melody in these settings to get the statue on the switch to reopen the lasers, so you just can't go back.
Wizrobe the car alarm bird. Absolutely, that is the best death sound I think any enemy in any game can have.
Oh yeah, it goes out with a bang. All three statues have been positioned on the scale here. We can make it through.
All right, it's going to be our last statue, and we're going to go grab our big key chest, and then on our way to fight Godan. Well, Zhor here is going to finish up working on our first floor. We'll see how they do once they clear out these checks. That dang Burger King chest, absolutely.
Oh, look at those statues. Now that they've gathered in a larger group, they're using lasers. That's wild, man.
Zhor nicely dodging through those zappy golden choo-choos.
Yeah,
That can be pretty tough sometimes.
I like to call those ones the Pikachus because they're yellow and they use electricity.
That is a wonderful name.
Also, the black shoes are, I call them statues.
Statues.
Yeah.
Zhor is setting up for the floor 1 skip here.
Ooh.
So we're putting a statue in the way, and then we're going to climb on that pillar. We're going to drop down on the right-hand side of that statue, and the statue is going to push us out of bounds. So we'll see how we do with this one here.
We're gonna use the old ledge trick here, apparently. You can also roll.
Yeah, you can do an angular roll, and you'll grab onto that bit just like that.
There we go.
Very nice.
And we're through.
We're through. We climb up. We're out of bounds right now.
Yep. Oh, and we're going for the chest first.
Going for hop across first.
Boxes. You can use the floor 1 skip to go either to the second floor or here.
Yeah, if you're in the water, then it's not too bad going to hop across. But if you try to go for the floor 1 skip in the water, it can be pretty tricky if you're not lined up right.
And up across, as we remember, is fire and ice arrows. So that is going to be a nice surprise for Zhor.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to get some nice, lovely music with the Godan fight. Oh.
Look at that guy with his pipe on his hands.
I'm going to pray that Godan does not act up too much for us.
Fun fact to note here in this boss fight, if you use fire or ice arrows on the ends, they're gonna die twice as fast. Or twice as slow, because the eyes are gonna reopen, because they love doing that.
We're probably breathing a little sigh of relief as well, knowing that Ganon May's chest is not going to be our fire and ice.
Yep, that was the one really spicy thing that could have happened.
Halo, it's a lot of it depends. Like, if we know that again, if we know that there's a lot of other checks in Tower of the Gods, so one of those is probably going to be a path. And if we can hop across, a lot of people will want to because it takes so long, and it's usually only if we don't have a key by the time we go to check it, because then we'll know that it's a key at that point.
Yeah, and if you know that's going to be a key, it's easy to skip. But also, if you don't know if it's a key or not, it can be like a cute little gamble sometimes.
And yeah, as well, as soon as you beat Tower of the Gods, it takes you out to the entrance. You can just sail right back in and go do it, and it doesn't take much extra time. skinnydee making some pretty nice, quick work of Godan. That looked like a pretty clean fight.
Zhor's gonna try to do the bomb version of this trick, apparently.
Oh yes, or trying to do a bomb push. So yeah, bombs don't like to take up the same space as Link. They will try to push him, and if you try to climb on the ledge at the right frame, I think it's about between 3 and 8 frames after you grab on the ledge where there's a bomb, it will push you out of bounds. It's the same thing that the statue here does.
Oh, fell in the water and now has to wait for a water cycle to go back up. That is That one always hurts.
I think every runner has felt that pain as
Oh
well.
yes. Well, we've been forced through the waters of Tower of God. You know that water is salty, you know? At that point, when that happens. Because the runner that's in the water is salty.
Going into first person so that we don't accidentally clip back in, and we can do some leaf pumps here. This is it's looking like a pretty nice Floor 1 skip from Zhor.
Yeah, very well done. Oh, almost.
Fell down, but that's...
No, we fell through the... Ah!
Oh, no.
Okay,
So
we
if-
didn't void out.
So if you fall down there, you can stay underneath that main platform that you're trying to get on top of, and you can swim towards the lower part of the platform, and it will push you up top.
Yeah,
So I mean, it's not optimal, but it is a nice recovery that makes it so you don't have to come all the way back here.
Yeah, sadly for Zhor, in their case, they kind of went the wrong way and jump off from the water into the void, but not enough to void out. So they fell under the water somehow.
Yeah, but they get a very nice second floor skip there as well. So now they're they're on track.
Very well done. That's the fun part about messing up tricks. You get to try them again until they work. It's practice in a way.
Every race is practice. Absolutely, every race helps you improve.
For some of us, the races are the only time we practice. Don't be like me. Don't be like me.
As long as you're enjoying it and having fun.
Yeah,
That's what's really important.
There's as many ways to run Wind Waker Randomizer as there is runners, basically.
No race, only race. No enjoyment, only race.
No practice, only race. The problem is that I don't race either. I don't think I've ever screamed as loud as I just did. Oh man. That's the fun part about watching these races. We feel what the runners are feeling sometimes. Because they're getting close to the void, and we're getting close to the void too.
skinnydee going down towards Fire Mountain. It's another check that a lot of people aren't terribly fond of, and will try to skip if possible because it takes quite some time. But
it's
actually, I don't have a defense for Fire Mountain. I'm sorry.
You don't have a defense for Fire Mountain? I'll find one. If you were to make a house in Fire Mountain, the geothermal energy will be great.
Oh, hey,
it will be great.
Yeah, there's some really weird platform shenanigans going on in these races here. I don't know how these racers are staying on these platforms.
Hey, it's a cargo rock, and it's now a cargo rock made of ice.
So I don't think that cargo rock died. It might still come back up later and cause us trouble.
Oh, Jack's clip has been performed.
Zhor picking up that statue through the floor.
Oh, and we're sidling. Look at that sidling speed. That's the best part of Rando.
Where else have you used the word sidling in your daily life, Munkle?
Basically never, because I speak French in my daily life. But I know it's called sidling. Imagine being French. Oh man. That would hurt. I could never be French. That's why I'm from Quebec.
We're from the same country.
Oh man.
I don't know a lick of French.
That's normal. No! The keys!
Oh no, the keys!
The keys just pushed us in the lava!
Keys heading for the skinnydee.
I haven't said this in a while, but now we have found the employee of the sea.
Not the Megtails this time, so far. It's the keys.
A café, s'il vous plaît? Oh boy.
Ooh, Fire Mountain is paying dividends.
Spiky. Oh boy, that's a sword!
That is a very important spiky chest.
Oh yeah, we're gonna need to go there Zor
Zor
2.
getting a little bit harassed by those bubbles, but nothing too bad.
Yeah, it happens. It
Oh,
happens. The
and
bubbles are a little special.
I believe Zor is setting up for a statue skip here.
Yeah, one of the many setups we have for this one. I'm familiar with all the setups because once every few races, one setup stops to work.
When one stops working, and just learn another.
Backup setups, you know.
This one. Oh, very
Wow,
clean.
well
Very
done.
nice. Very
Didn't even
nicely done.
lose the statue by getting too close to the big statue, you know.
Oh, the best is when you run towards the door carrying the statue, it clips the top, gets knocked out of your hands, and then you go through the door anyway. That is another fun thing that I think many people have felt.
Oh, and we were at Fire Mountain, now we're at High Spring Island. The one
Yes.
island with the heist physics.
skinnydee just pounding out those fire and ice checks, and been paying off so far.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much left for skinnydee to do except that, because we do know that Forsaken Fortress is empty.
All right, taking a bet. Is skinnydee gonna fall down here?
Good question.
We got a lot more ice to run across.
Yeah, we did get to the side of the island we don't see so often. Oh, look at that animation! Link is sliding on his butt.
That's very nice. I like that he's doing the jump slashes to get over the ledges rather than climbing, because climbing takes time.
Yeah, it's well done. Another shard for Zor. Now it's 5.
Zor likewise easily quick spinning that dark nut out of existence.
Yeah. Just became a Beyblade for a few seconds. Ice physics are dangerous.
I fulfilled my purpose of becoming a blender. Yeah, that's right. Kinoki, if you can melt that first chest that's sitting there, jump on it, and then jump off of it to hit the ledge right there. That is another little strategy. And we have another spiky chest.
Oh, rolling through, even using the little Wind Waker buffer there. And it's a Triforce shard.
That is our last shard for skinnydee. skinnydee is just raking in all the treasure with these fire and ice checks, but you're right, Junes. Zor is getting a little bit of a cleaner Tower of the Gods so far. So this is going to be interesting. This is a nice race.
Where's his last sword? Good question. Good question, actually. I don't think we've seen all 4. Well, all 3, I should say. I still have my whole Season 4 reflexes. The thing that we need 4 swords. And we know that Bow is in maze.
Yeah, and we're going to need the 4 swords and all of the shards before we get to the maze. Because we need to shatter Hyrule's barrier with our fully powered Master Sword.
Yep.
Vanilla light arrows, absolutely.
Yeah, we have vanilla light arrows, and we have known since the beginning of the seed. That's the beauty of hints sometimes.
One of the first hints you see. Nope.
Oh, skinnydee, you were just checking the hints again, apparently.
I think I accidentally spoke to Coral. I don't know if this is emote, but. Zor has a wing sword. Does that mean he's found 2? Yes, that's right. So we start with the sword, and they both found 2 swords.
Yes.
So the third one will put a little glowing gem in the sword icon.
That's the one difference, and sometimes when we use fancy shenanigans, we don't really see it happening for a bit.
So Zor now seeing that top chest is a key chest. Since we did the floor 1 skip, we don't need to get it.
Apparently hunting that that bubble for sports, so I think we're going for the key, man.
We might be going for it in the case of it being the big key. There is a way to skip the big key, but it is a kind of tricky trick that I would not really expect any Miniblins runners to have practiced, because it's so situational. And you'll usually get the big key anyway.
I think we already have the big key, because it was the same room as the first small key. Just enough magic. That's too close for comfort, as I like to call it. Oh!
Oh no!
Sadly, the magnetic hands are only on Skinny D's side today.
And just go
Talking
back
about
here.
Skinny D making their way up in Forsaken Fortress.
You know, I think I almost suspected that the two of them found two different swords, but did they find the same ones or different ones?
They found the same ones, but I could be wrong.
All right, and just going back a little bit further, last time somebody got bow and maze, there was a bow and fire mountain. Yeah, that's what the runners I think were fearing as soon as they saw that hint that there was a
There
bow
we
with
go,
Phantom
the
Ganon
small
maze.
key. Yeah, we're gonna get to teach a little something to Zor tonight. Doesn't really need that last key here. But still, it's good practice to make it up that room because it's a very hard room. It's one of those rooms. Takes a long time if you mess it up. Yeah, the Miniblins are here once again.
Isn't it?
I still miss the one submarine where you just stood around for a solid minute listening to Miniblins while hanging out on a ladder.
Crescent Moon sub, absolutely. Zor dodging those mean keys. Those keys harass so many runners so often.
The Crescent sub, or as I called it, the Miniblins ASMR sub.
Miniblins ASMR.
Yep.
Okay, so actually, we had Tower of the Gods Path to Hyrule.
Yes.
Possible that Hyrule has our last sword in it. I think it is, isn't it?
It might be, yes.
Hyrule with the last sword, Phantom Ganon maze with the last light arrow.
It very well might be.
I've seen like one. Oh,
It's right on the platform though, so.
Zor getting hit by the Wizrobe, but luckily landing on on the platform there. Yeah.
And we saw a Wizrobe die on one side, and we saw we saw the big bird fall in the hole on the other side at the same time. They both screamed on the way down. So.
Junas, you're very right. You're very right. So many checks in the game are made quicker by having the leaf, especially Tower of the Gods and the subs. But it's one that you'll see many people just really be happy if they find early.
And we have a vanilla fight with Elmrock King. Oh my!
Yes.
Let's
Skinny
see
D.
that. Where we're gonna get to see a whole lot of more moves on this bird, because it doesn't only land; it does
So
other things.
It'll
But
usually
this time
land
it's
first
landing.
here and peck down for the very first attack. I think that's a very common opener for the bird.
Yeah,
You get
if
a
you're
one
very
hit.
lucky, it's gonna attack again.
That's good luck already. And now
If
it's
you're
probably
very
gonna-
lucky, it's
yeah.
gonna land once again. But it
likes
could
to do-
also just run at you. It could blow wind at you too. I think it's landing though.
I think it's landing. Yeah.
Yep,
That's pretty good luck. Stay fairly close so that it tries to peck down.
Yep,
That's
there
good.
we go. Attack again, please. Nah.
This attack is
it's
blowing
the
you
wind.
away into the spikes.
Yep, just keep running. This is the treadmill of Hyrule.
And now 2 attacks, so it's going to fly up and just waste a bunch more time now. Learning that skip that Zor did is a very... Like, it doesn't apply to every
We're
seed,
landing
but
again.
it saves minutes.
But we're landing again. One more attack, and we're gonna be rid of that mask.
That mask is off. All right. 5 more
Right.
hits.
And if you spin, the mask only has collision if you don't spin, because the spin attacks are weird.
I think that was about 3.5. Trying to shoot the bird in the face now, which I don't know if that works. Maybe?
It can work depending on the angle you use. And personally, I like to use the boomerang here because it will just hone in this thing forever.
Skinny D, honestly, getting some really good RNG from the
Well
bird, though.
done.
That was quick for a vanilla fight.
Yeah, and you can tell Skinny D knows all of the attacks of that boss because Nothing seemed to surprise them. That was well done, honestly.
We got another boss fight on the other side. Zor taking on Godan, getting a little bit bullied.
Yep. Happens to the best of us. Golden is just that boss, you know. It's a close one right now because we just finished a boss on one side. There's not a whole lot going on elsewhere.
So I would be, on Skinny D side, I would be really tempted to just check out Hyrule right now, see if we get our sword there, which would lead right to the bow. I don't know how many other overworld checks are available.
I don't even remember
Skinny
at this
D?
point. Wow. I don't think so, according to their own tracker. But,
I suppose ankle. We haven't checked ankle.
that is true. That is true. We don't really have the means to check ankle.
Yeah, that's right. List of sword single statues. Well, we'll find out how many each of them have soon enough, I'm sure. If we go to Hyrule and get a tingle statue, then we'll do a little bit of back and forth. But
So
yeah, there might not be enough checks to.
We ran out of arrows on the golden fight. On the Zor side, thankfully, Golden is there to test us, not kill us, so he gives us some more.
And now we get both runners making a little chat with Coral, just to make sure that those hints are still good.
All right, let's see what's in that Master Sword chamber.
I am highly suspecting it's a fully vanilla Hyrule, but we will find out.
I can't for the life of me remember where all the swords are. So
I think there was a sword in Islet of Steel.
oh, it's not a spiky one apparently. Or are we just saving? No, it's not the
we're
spiky one.
Leaving.
It is not spiky, so the sword is somewhere in the overworld.
Oh, I absolutely respect that play though, because could you imagine if it was?
That would have been amazing.
Oh no, yes, that's right. Skinny D does not have the outset fairy great sword. That's where his last sword is. And Zor does.
Zor forgot the shard.
Oh no! Oh no!
No. And that's the one that's the longest to get back to.
Oh no!
You need to do your floor one skip again. It really hurts.
Oh, that is so sad.
We all do that at least once. I used to say this back when. Okay, it's kind of a long story, but one of the first races I ever commentated on, one of my friends was playing and they forgot the shard. And when they got back to the room to get the shard again, they took a picture with the picto box of the shard to make sure that they never forget again. So
I think that was the Nampi, wasn't it?
And then later in that same tournament, his opponent for that race, the race where he missed the shard, was Gymnast86. And in the grand finals, Gymnast forgot the shard and he took a picture too.
Oh no! I mean, what else can you do when something so small makes such a big effect?
It happens. It happens to you at least once when you play this Wind Waker randomizer.
Absolutely, I've certainly done that. I think Earth Temple is the biggest culprit for me of that.
Earth Temple, the shard is like very far from you. You know.
Yeah, and as soon as it happens once, you are completely paranoid every additional time that you try to grab the shard from a boss.
It can literally happen to all of us if it can happen to Jim. So never feel bad about it happening to you at least once. Or maybe twice. Maybe thrice. It's fine.
So I think this would be a really, really close race. If Zor grabbed that shard and then we were just looking for the last fire and ice checks. It still could go anyway. Hyrule is its own beast. It can easily take up minutes of time. Oh, there we go with our shard.
The Taji shard is a sneaky one because it's really hard to get once you forget about it. And the warp is so close to you. It's so close. I can definitely understand why that's happened. Kennedy now getting that Master Sword. That was the place. So Zor is missing the one on Fire Mountain.
Yeah, so I guess skinnydee is not technically in go mode, but he may as well be since we know where the last bow is and we're going for it right now.
Yeah, we're still missing a shard too on Zor's side, so just gotta do our fire and ice checks.
Yeah, we know
Right.
Needle
Really
Rock is
good
is a shard.
Pretty
Fire
sure.
Mountain is a sword, and Ice Ring is a shard, I believe.
Yes. So basically, we need to go to all 3 islands, but we're not really far behind.
Yeah, Symphonic Link, I'd probably call this go mode. I don't know about the technicalities of it, but we know where the last. It's no mode for sure. Like we know
It is no mode for
exactly
us,
where the
least.
items are that we need.
And now Skinnydee is going back to Arrow, because even if there was nothing there, we still have something to go get, and a big bad Ganon to go fight.
And if you don't know the direction for Ganon's maze, it's the cutscene for the barrier breaking is a great time to search it up.
Oh yeah, I've been there before. Every race I had to go there, I've been there before, actually.
Imagine not dropping the secret 9th shard, Ganon.
Oh yes, I see you people have an abbreviation for the pet.
I think we're going to see Zor jump on top of this chest now. And you might have to be careful because if you hit A at the wrong time, you will open that chest while you're standing on top of it.
Yep. And you can still jump on the open chest though, but opening it is kind of a waste of time. Look at that! That barrier is getting broken.
Barrier is shattering like there's no tomorrow.
There we go. That's another shard down for Zord. Only 6 arrows left for Skinnydee. Thankfully, that's all we need, really. We're gonna get some more on the way to the big bad boss. Oh, and Zord taking the scenic route out of this island.
Ooh, and accidentally, well, maybe not accidentally falling down, but if you're not running at full speed towards the edge of these ice blocks, so often you'll just fall straight down into the water without grabbing onto anything.
It is really weird. The ice physics are always strange. Looking for the boat. There we go. It's a 125.38 barrier break on Skinnydee's side, as said by you in chat, actually.
Oh, maybe I should have just said that out loud.
you could have, but you didn't.
I think the text record is immutable. All right, Zor making the trek to Fire Mountain now. Going to be checking out those Fire and Ice checks, which...
Oh, so many Miniblins on these stairs. So many Miniblins.
They're so excited for the tournament. Would you care to purchase a non-fungible token of my text message crane?
Oh boy. There we go. How many rupees?
Get away from that. Yeah, heading up to... Okay, yeah. Jump down into the maze and gonna be slowly climbing up Fire Mountain here.
Down.
Alright, I'm going down.
Left. Up. Left again. Now we're going right. And hop one last time. There we go.
Looking pretty good.
Well done for Skinnydee to make it through the whole hair. And in Fire Mountain in only 33 seconds. Well done. Oh, the spin was a little early on this one. But we get to try again.
Ooh, that's quite a lot of damage that Phantom Ganon does here. 2 hearts a pit if he gets hit once more without healing.
Oh, and we're going for it. Or not.
Okay, we're seeing the danger that we're in, and we are drinking
some
some soup.
soup.
Not duplicating it, so we'll might have to be a little bit careful.
There we go.
There we are.
We needed the soup for confidence, you know? Well done.
Zhor with the last sword there, and then choose to leave the intended way through Fire Mountain. Or for just... Oh, maybe... Checking shards in the pause screen.
That ghost just doesn't want to stay down.
I think Skinnydee getting slightly unlucky with some of these attacks.
Yeah, sadly.
But
there
we're
we
getting
go.
him down now. Skinnydee a little danger, absolutely.
Yeah.
Zhor is reading some hints again slowly, seeing if there's maybe something that they missed.
And
Sees
we
the
are
bow there.
light
There's a
arrow.
shard there. How many shards does Zhor have?
7 right now,
He should have.
according to their personal
7.
tracker. So we're missing one, the one at Needle Rock.
Yeah, I should be missing the Needle Rock one right now. It might be a little bit confused.
Yeah, not seeing the portal to Hyrule means we're 1 short. Oh, do they think they forgot the shard at the top again? Oh no. Yes, Needle Rock is the one that's directly hinted, I'm pretty sure.
I wonder,
Hard to remember hints sometimes.
I wonder if it's possible that we read it as Triforce Chart instead of Shard. I know that is something that has happened before to people.
Oh yeah, I've definitely been there.
Although they'll know which checks that they should know which checks that they found. Yeah, it is possible that they marked off Needle Rock as done if they read it as Chart, possibly.
This could also be a case of I've seen some runners jumble up some islands in the past, like I need to go to Needle Rock, but they think it's angular, so they mark off the wrong island on their map. It has happened to me before.
I'm going over to Bird's Peak Rock, I think.
Yeah, it looks like it at least.
No, that's not.
Oh, that's Bomb Island.
Bomb
but
Island, yeah.
The other one that you talked about is in the background. And it's time for Puppet Ganon. We're throwing the boomerang.
All right, Puppet
Now
Ganon.
that's nostalgic. Now that's nostalgic, man.
Puppet Ganon, I think, probably unanimously the most difficult or tricky phase, at least, of this 3-phase fight.
Oh yeah, it really is the hardest part of the fight. Once you're through that one, the rest is kind of a breeze. The only thing you can do after that one is do it faster, you know? There's some strats that let you go faster. You don't really need them.
Have you seen the task? 51 seconds, all 3 phases?
Oh, I have.
Just do that every time, no problem.
The Acer one, right? Some incredible speed strats in there. There we go. That's the second shot down.
So we're looking to try to proceed through Bomb Island. We know it's not a spiky chest back here, so it won't have anything.
Badly, yeah.
I'm gonna go check it out. Make sure that they peeked it right. See that they did, and be even more confused likely.
It's definitely one of those moments when you're looking for one last thing and you think that you have nothing left in Overworld. That one hurts, you know.
That's absolutely. It feels like there's nothing you can do about it because you know that there's some way that you just either accidentally read something wrong or looked at something wrong, but where could it be in the entire game?
Sometimes the artist the artist tech in the game is actually tracking your objects, and I totally get it because I don't use my tracker.
Yeah, I know when Season 5 first started and peaks were one of the first things with chest type matches contents, it would, a lot of people would just miss peak. They would look at something, assume that it was a brown chest.
It's really easy to get confused at first.
Zhor just paused for a second. That looked like he had 6 shards.
Huh.
I mean, he should still be able to get from the hints that there's a needle rock, but it looked like it was 6.
Oh. Where are we going? Where are we going? Meanwhile, we're getting rid of some keys on skinnydee side. They're getting some arrows back. Waiting for the spider to fall. Oh, it fell on us, but there's still enough time to get the shot. There we go.
That was a nice fall. Normally, that tries to push you away and behind the leg, so you can't get a good angle at that orb. But
it's still possible to shoot it as it goes up, but it becomes really hard when that does that. Yeah. Oh, and we're gonna go for the snipes in the last phase. At least one of them.
At least the first one, for sure.
So we got the head. We got the head again. There we go. Nice second snipe. Meanwhile, Zhor is now heading straight for an outlet.
Going to paw print here. I think just trying to cover bases on places where he might not be terribly certain that he got everything.
Yeah, at this point it is just trying to jumble some memories, I think. And there we go, skinnydee taking care of the big bad guy here. Oh, Snake Ganon. Now we're only one Ganon left from the end of the game.
How many Ganons? What is the Zelda game where you fight the most Ganons? That's a good question.
Good question. Honestly, there's lots of them in some games.
So we're checking that one, making sure it's brown. At this point, you just don't know. It's pick an island.
It could, when you don't know where it is, it could be anywhere.
Absolutely, and that's so daunting.
Tracking errors are so daunting. Yeah. You don't really know where to go. Like at this point, I'm pretty sure that they're spinning just to, while trying to jumble some memories, basically. All right, where are we warping next? Modern Child? No, Forsaken Fortress. Are we gonna go check the chests that are considered foolish?
Maybe thinking that if they didn't get the Godan shard, they might have not gotten the Helmarock one, but I'm pretty sure I saw them pick up the Helmarock shard.
At this point, trying anything since the race is not over.
skinnydee just climbing up with a grappling hook. Yeah, Keith, it's got to be an awful feeling, and we know it's an awful feeling because I think almost every runner has done something similar at some point. I know I certainly have, where there's nowhere else to go.
We've all been there, basically. You don't even know what you're looking for, and that's what hurts the most.
Zhor getting a nice window jump there, though. I'm always too scared to go for that one. That's
it's a dangerous one, but if you get it down, it pays off. And it's time for the final fight for skinnydee. Not sitting around and getting the easy phase 1, but as long as we don't get killed, it is gonna be fine.
Yeah, there's a few fun quirks to this Ganon fight. You can just kind of stand right where you are at the beginning. He'll jump towards you, and you can just spin, and there's phase 1 down.
Yeah, I pretty much called it the script.
But
the script that you can respect, and if you have drank your soup before the fight, it should be all right. It looks like skinnydee is not using the soup right now, so we're gonna get some regular fighting.
Ganon can still throw you for a loop, absolutely, when he just decides to single swing for, let's say, 5 or 6 times in a row, hey?
This fight is especially dangerous if you play not Miniblins settings, because Miniblins settings gives you 6 hearts, but when we start with only 3 some seeds, you stay with only 3, and that guy can combo you for 3 hearts if he feels like it.
And you might have just seen here as well, skinnydee is blocking, and that prompts Ganon to use his kick attack, which will go through your shield and just be a big pain.
And skinnydee is having a bit of trouble right now. It's kind of counterintuitive, but you need to wait longer than the prompt to counter Ganondorf's attacks in this fight, or else you're gonna miss the back.
Oh, skinnydee!
Oh my god, it's time to drink.
Time to drink. Oh, I don't think we know. I don't think we're aware or can get the soup dupe. So we're on our last 6 hearts here. And when his jumping stopped going backward, yeah, that's probably
that too. Oh, there we go. That should be just enough for Zelda to wake up.
Talk to Zelda to get her to shoot her bow at us and try to time it right.
There we go. And now we only need to press A once more, and it's gonna be GG's for skinnydee.
It's gonna be GG's with a time of 1:39:28.
Well done for skinnydee. Meanwhile, Zor making their way back up. Forcing a fortress.
Just to check if they might have missed that shard from Helmarok as well.
Yeah. Then your GG's for skinnydee. In the meantime,
take a look around. I don't think we're going to find this one here.
yeah. And when you see the tower just stay open at the top, it feels weird. Feels bad.
Something used to be here.
Oh man. And we're going through the cutscene with skinnydee. I love this.
Nope, we don't see that shard, so I think, well, we'll see.
And
Yes, I think,
Zor has officially forfeited this one. So then your GG's for both runners at this point.
I mean, I would say that was a very, very close race.
Yeah, it was very close until the end.
And then, unfortunately, missed the Godan shard from Zor's side, which made a bit of a separation, but there must have also been some other difference there, because we'll have to ask him. I think I've only seen 6 shards, but...
Well, I have to ask, because their personal tracker seems to indicate having 7.
It does, yeah. We'll just go with that one for now then. It looks like they're setting them up to possibly join in for an interview. I think they might have to get figured out with the servers for a bit first here, but...
Yes. And we have at least one of them.
I think we have...
First
off, is it Zor or Zhor? Zor, okay, sorry. I think we got it right.
At the start of the scene, I just called you Mr. 2000, just to be sure.
There you go, that works. I've never heard that one before, I like that.
So, it's a little bit of an unfortunate situation that turned out there, but have any ideas where the last shard might have been?
No, so I must have misclicked something on the tracker, because I'm all out of ideas here. Like, I ran out of stuff. I thought the Fire Mountain check was going to be the Triforce shard, and then what is it? The Master Sword check was going to be the Master Sword upgrade, and then it was all going to work out from there. But I must have misclicked something. So what was the one that I missed?
I think it's one of your hints.
One of your hints
was the one to Needle Rock Isle. It hinted that there was a Triforce shard.
Oh!
No, shard, not shard, sorry.
It said shard? Oh my god. I thought it said chart.
We were talking about that.
That's exactly what we thought happened, honestly. It happens to all of us at least once.
It's never going to happen again, though. Now I'm going to be like double reading that every time. Holy crap.
You did all of the shard related stuff that you could have forgot today. Forgot the one on Golden. That's also a big one. Like, you forget a boss shard once, and after
I didn't forget that. I was, what is it, so I run all dungeons, and I know that if you have the sword out and you're spamming B, like if you're like mashing text or something, you'll collect the heart container there. and it's like really slow. So I was like, oh, just press B and you'll collect the Triforce shard. And then I pressed B a bunch of times and hit the warp. And I was like, oh, okay.
No boy.
Slowly move forward with each slash of the sword until it's too late, and then
Yeah, basically, the magic
CPP.
number seems to be 3. So, yeah, that was on purpose, but I wasn't trying to take the warp with it. Like, I immediately noticed, like, I didn't leave on accident, and then I was like, oh, maybe I did the same thing to like FF1 or something. That was my best guess.
and we're
And
joined
we
here
are
by
joined by Skinny D. GG's.
GG's.
GG's. That was a good race.
Yeah, I
Wow.
totally forgot I didn't read that the Needle Rock Cave was a Triforce shard. I thought it said chart because I read too fast.
No, honestly, up until missing that shard on Godan, it was very close. We couldn't tell who was in the lead. There were, I think, what was it? Zoe, you had a bit of a cleaner Tower of the Gods, but Skinny D got out and did those Fire and Ice checks and got everything. Bam, bam, bam. That was so close for Go mode.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice. Again, that's
I
the all
pretty much-
dungeons in me.
Which was
I was really hoping that leaf would be in Tower of the Gods because I knew I needed it to complete it. But when I got fire arrows, I cleared out the rest of the way, and then I went back and did those checks.
Oh man.
which
Yeah,
was
I mean-
actually a little bit bold jumping in Tower of the Gods without the leaf in the first place. So
Yeah,
just
well,
trying
it's always
to
a thing.
Yeah, but
catch
I was really hoping for leaf to be in there because I was running out of checks, and I was like, maybe it's in there.
Technically, there's ways around it, but this is the kind of tournament where runners know a little less strats. But you guys are gonna learn so much during this one. I feel it already because
I already
there's so
did.
many nice little tricks.
I already did. Make sure you read the hint.
Yeah, that one is the most broken trick in the game.
Yeah, clearly.
Let's say something else. Something else that I mentioned, or that a couple other things. I guess Zora, when we saw that last key chest at the top of Tower of the Gods.
I don't want to talk about it. That
Yep.
was so bad.
No, it's not bad. It's just good to like kind of see what's going on there. Hey, and what we're thinking at the time. Like, it's always good to these sorts of things let us improve. But it's like realizing that we only need one key at that point after we've done the skip.
Yeah,
That's nice.
I didn't think about it until after. I was like, let me just get it to be safe because I don't really like I know
sure, hey,
OT rando like much better, so like I
Okay.
know that type of stuff, like if you don't need a key. And I don't know Wind Waker well enough yet, so I was like, it takes me 20 seconds to go get it just so I can know that I'm safe. And then it took me like 2 minutes because I fell and ran out of magic. And I probably should have just used soup, but whatever.
This room is really mean when you fall down.
Yeah, I
That
messed
is a
it up
big
real bad.
room.
Yeah, for Skinny D, like the employee of the seed was the key, the keys in Fire Mountain to just push you in the lava. But for Zor, it was definitely that bubble at the top of the room in Tower of the Gods.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I fell to him once, and I was like, okay, whatever, just shoot him, kill him. But then I made a bunch of mistakes, like actually platforming up. That was where I lost the most of the time. Like
I think
after that.
I think one more I've got for Skinny D here as well. I wonder if you were practicing it at all, but you did that vanilla Helmarock fight, and that was some of the best RNG I've ever seen on that fight. I'm wondering if you were getting to learn to manipulate him, or because I think he only did one attack that wasn't a peck.
Unless standing like at a certain distance manipulates him, I don't know how to do that. But I just think I was really lucky, like thankfully.
It was pretty fun, pretty good to see, regardless.
It was nostalgic. Like you showed us a bunch of nostalgic stuff. Puppet Ganon using the boomerang, that brings me straight back to childhood. I love it. Every time I see it, I love it. Or the two rooms that we don't see often in Tachi. That's also very nostalgic.
Right. That's cool.
Alright. Yeah, I guess either of you have
you.
any other comments about how you felt the seed went, or things that you kind of learned from it, or...
Did you guys... I was going to ask about this. I'm glad you mentioned Helmrock King. Did you guys see how, like, he got stuck out of bounds for me when I did the...
Yep.
Does that happen often? Like, did I do something wrong that causes that? Like,
There's a specific setup, or I should say two specific setups that people use to basically jump at the right spot in the middle of the tower, so there's less chances for Elmarok to just stay stuck at the outside. But if you don't use a setup, basically you leave it to RNG, and it can really happen. What happened to you can really happen often, sadly.
Oh,
there's,
okay.
there's no foolproof way to do it, but there are
Yeah,
ways
there's
to
no.
really mitigate how often it happens.
Basically, you want to be as close as possible to the spot where you're gonna actually fight it at the bottom. But there's like, I'm not the right guy to tell you exactly the setup because I use a holder one. But there's definitely a setup that you can learn.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I didn't know if that was just like some thing nobody had ever seen before, or if there was like a setup.
No, we saw the arrow on the outside, and we're like, oh, that's unfortunate.
Yep, I've never seen that before, so I was like, okay, I'm just gonna save warp and hope it doesn't happen again. I guess we'll see.
That's
But,
exactly
yeah, it worked out.
the way to do it. If it doesn't work, you save warp and you hope for the best.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is exactly the point of this tournament. Like, we're gonna see less strats, or I should say, we're gonna see more and more strats as the tournament goes on, because these guys are all learning. It's wonderful to see it, honestly. Like,
That's true.
it felt really, really good to see like the match setup and be like, I don't know any of these runners. This is gonna be wonderful. Just new people. It's always fun to see.
Yeah, there's a billion things to learn in this game. It takes people who've been playing this game for years still have things to learn.
I can confirm. I've been here since.
It has been a long time, many years.
Okay. Yeah.
I was just going to say, Mom, we're going to wrap it up here.
Nice.
Wanted to thank our commentators, obviously. We got Gold Quiver and Mont did a fantastic job, along with our trackers, Symphonic Link and Tomodachi. Great job to the runners, skinnydee and Zhor. You probably already said how to pronounce that, but I'm just tired, man. We are going to go raid ZeldaSpeedRuns 2. No, Symphonic, I said your name. I know I said your name. I said multiple things wrong, Momo, don't worry about it. So, while the raid gets prepped, just wanted to keep you guys up to date on the schedule. There is a unstreamed, if you wanted to watch the runners, though, Miniblins match in 2 hours. And it looks like we should probably have a restream tomorrow at 6 and 9 p.m. Also Miniblins, and that's looking to be both on this channel, ZeldaSpeedRuns. And
Nice.
that's basically it.
All right, good to know.
It's amazing. Gonna have some Miniblins fun.
I think that was a very enjoyable race, and you two did wonderfully. That was really fun to watch.
Thank you.
And
I think I did pretty good.
Nice. Twitch, who isn't letting me raid ZeldaSpeedRuns 2.
Come on,
Nope.
Twitch. You know you want to do it. In the meanwhile, you guys can like just post rare parrots in the chat. That's what I do. Oh, I think the raid is starting. Oh. In these words, I think it's gonna be time to say goodnight.
It is.
It is late.
Bonne nuit.
Yes, it is.
Enjoy ZeldaSpeedRuns 2, everyone. Have a great night.
Bye.